Tree has been pruned before. I printed out some handouts for everybody, just as some resources online. Like I like the Cornell pruning guide, just on their home gardener site. And then there's one on renovating old apple trees, which a lot of you guys probably have old apple trees that have never really been maintained, and that's slightly different issues there. And there's a nice document that goes over that stuff. So
another thing I would say is that don't nickel and dime a branch too much. It's easier for a tree to heal over taking a large cut rather than 30 small cuts all the way out the end of the branch where you're trying to wiggle it out into some space. Just eliminate the branch if that seems like the right thing to do.
But everything like this branch would be pretty much good to go, right? I mean, this is about what we're looking for.
Yep.
I wonder in this tree, would you take this one out?
That'd be pretty bold.
It doesn't matter. You just have to pick.
I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No. But again, it's really leave that and open some space up. Do a better job than we did last year. I'm trying to open it up, and I guess at this point I would leave it. I'm not saying
you'd say not that because it would just take too much to heat.
Pretty big wound. That's a big.
I mean, I guess the other consideration about
I might have done it a bunch of years ago.
Right.
It probably should have been.
Because it's closed up the center of it.
I mean, taking one problem I guess I see with if we took this one is you've got a flat surface where all this moisture and everything's going to sit. Where if you took this branch off, which again would be really extreme, but at least your wound, everything's going to sort of shed off of it.
But isn't that always the case for pruning in the center? You're always leaving, that's like the center of the vase to collect water and germs and bacteria.
Yeah, well if you kind of like do it early on, it's not a big...
Yeah, right.
Well, what about cutting that main central kind of stalk up higher, where it's growing
even
straight
higher.
up?
Even
higher.
the next one up,
Yeah, even higher though, yeah.
Yeah, I mean I think that this one, if you wanted to prune it for height, which maybe we do, I mean...
I think that's what it needs.
That would probably be a good one to take off.
Get to the point. I was up, up in there, and really, in retrospect, it should be a lower tree to deal with if you want to manage it.
But you see how like these kind of big decisions, it's better to make these first because, say we like spend all this time on this branch, and then they're like, oh well, this whole thing should go. It's like you just wasted a lot of time. And then one thing that's important is all your wood, you pull it away and get rid of it because there could be, insects you don't want or pests or diseases.
So you wouldn't chip these and use them as
I think
mulch?
that's
No.
No, you don't think so?
I would put them as mulch here now.
No. Okay. Wow. Okay. Good.
I'll burn them.
Burn them. Yeah. Burn them. Okay.
Yeah. It's just having I know it's just a practice that orchards use. They get rid of they try to clean up their orchards. It makes it easier for mowing and.
So that branch that you just were working on, you say that it's pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
What about these little branchlets that are sort of...
here?
Yeah.
These are actually fruiting spurs. So you see how they're all like wrinkly and stubby? That's actually, right? Isn't that going to be a spur right there?
There's leaf buds and fruit buds.
Yeah, I was
These big fat ones are the fruiting buds here. I mean, they're going to produce flowers.
When you say
fat, these are all.
Well, like if you look at this,
so you're referring to the bud, whether it's fat or not, or the branch?
I'm referring to the bud.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's fruiting buds and then there's leaf buds.
I see. So I would have.
These little ones here.
and it wouldn't matter if you did because at some point you have to thin if you're successful anyway. But you can really see on the pears I'll show you. It's really obvious. Okay. Because pears are all produced on spurs, which are like dense clusters of buds. Apples, the difference is a little different. But I've got 2 sets of tools, so maybe I can just I've got 4 tools, so maybe I can just manage 4 people cutting stuff. Yeah. So there isn't that much more. I mean, if we had a ladder, you could get out and get any of this other crossing stuff, but it's pretty, I guess these guys, right? Yeah. but it's pretty minimal. It's pretty minimal on this one. What you can do. And
I think Bruce has been.
well, there's one cut I see right here that somebody made, and that's why all those suckers were there. Because what I remember I was saying about the pears is when you cut them, they freak out.
I would try to do anything I can go, make it go lateral is what I would do.
Yeah.
Is this finished growing?
No, it'll keep growing.
That way?
Yeah. And I guess we
Sometimes
could.
they get really long and have a potential to break. You could shorten them. You know, you could shorten this back to a lateral. You don't want to shorten it back to anything. Go back to something.
Do something meaning
To a branch. Right, don't just like,
don't go
Yeah.
don't just cut it off.
But I think if you cut that one, then you're gonna get like at the end where it fingers out again. Yeah, like it kind of will like multiply.
Yes, yeah.
Fertile, or very few pears are self-fertile. So we're gonna plant another tree, and then at this next workshop, graft some more wood on here. Maybe like right here, we can graft another variety. A couple different places to make it so there'll be a pollinator built into the tree. Because this one hasn't been producing because there's no pollinator.
So high tech years ago.
It must have been, there must be another pear within a mile. Because they're insect pollinators. Yeah. So should we go start on the apples then?
Yeah.
But earlier, you don't want to cut this until it's flowering. But with a tree like this, yeah.
All the time?
What? Well, you cut it when it's flowering or after it flowered. But you wait till the weather's warm to prune it.
For a peach tree or just because it's young?
For a peach tree.
Oh.
Because they're so susceptible to disease. And it's like you prune it sort of differently. You actually keep it for the young wood. This tree is what, do we think 3 or 4 years old?
Yes.
So there isn't that much to cut yet, but I guess you probably cut out like this guy and this guy.
Wait, why would finish?
Well, I actually have to see. I mean, it might be too young where you don't even need to really prune it much until next year.
Yeah.
I have to see when it
But I'm
flowers.
just saying you chose, not to say that we would, but you chose certain pieces because why?
This one?
This is just like the same principle of the apple tree.
If you're going to prune it?
If you were to prune it. Not to say that we
no,
are.
no. This one you prune for the youth of the wood.
Oh.
Because peach trees like only produce on like 2nd through 4th year growth or something. Isn't that? You guys have peaches? Is that? I think that's right. We can look in the book. I have a book with me, but so this tree is so young, it's not a big deal. But as it gets older, you're going to get branches that are never going to produce any wood. So you're always keeping it really young. And if you go to a peach orchard, the trees only last like 30 years, and they're all like skinny, and that's.
So you would just start cutting off old wood.
Yeah, old. And anything that's crossing, like you tidy up this, but this tree is so young, there isn't much to do with it yet.